Hi, Dateables. Welcome to another episode of the Dateable Podcast. If you are new to our podcast, if you're looking for dating stories, dating advice, just sharing in the dating journey, you're in the right place. So good. But
You
if you're
made
looking,
it.
if you're looking for, I don't know, economic data, I don't even know what that podcast will look
Hey,
like.
you never know. You never know. There's a lot of supply and demand that goes into dating, right?
There is, and we are in a love recession and a sex recession. So,
And a real
and
recession
a real
too. There we
recession.
go.
So, you're in the right place either way, whether you're looking for data or for dating.
You
You are
get
in
all
the
your
right
life
place.
advice here. It's good to go.
Yeah, we'll tell you where to invest your time in terms of dating.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And
So,
invest in yourself is what we're going to talk about today. I'm really excited that we're doing this topic. We did a cross collab. It's always fun when we do cross collabs with other
it is.
podcasts. So we did one with Confident Collective podcast. So we were on their podcast a couple weeks ago. We talked about, modern dating because, of course,
Yep.
that's what we're going to talk about. The Confident Collective is made of two of them. Rayanne, which she is actively dating, and then Christina, who is married. So it was a really good perspective, I think, obviously on our episode, having them, but also for us on theirs, because they both related to the modern dating scene in very different ways. So yeah, definitely want to drop that for people to check out too. But we're so excited to have them on our show this week.
And we'll link it as well. We always link these collabs. And what's so fascinating about Christina and Rayanne is that they met because they're both curve models. And curve models are, I didn't even know there was a new industry term, basically plus size models. And then there's like, what did they call it? Real size models? Plus size models? I forget the different differentiation, but
ironically, it's like no one is actually the real size in either of those cases.
yes. Like it's just they're normal body models. And
Right.
obviously, as anybody, like even if you've never been in the modeling industry, you can probably assume what it could do to your confidence and to your self-worth, especially being a model in the curve plus size category. So I'm so happy that they're able to share their journey through self-confidence, and we can definitely learn from them because that industry is fucking brutal.
Yes, as someone that works in fitness, I've heard your stories. It is brutal.
It's brutal. Yeah. And just like it just shows you that there is no one form of beauty, but
No.
the industry makes you conform to this one
Yeah.
size, this one look. So finding your own individual voice in this industry is very tough.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. So we talk about confidence. We've had a lot of episodes on confidence, and
Yeah.
I would say this episode is more of a form of quiet confidence than what you think of when you think of confidence. Like, we're not going to,
Yes.
this episode is not about affirmations in the mirror. This episode is not even about looking your best. Like, we really don't actually talk about that at all. It's about holding your own value and putting yourself first. And I know I struggle with this a lot in dating, like a lot. And I think, women too are just like positioned through all the bad dating advice to kind of think that like men have the power, which is ironic because I know men actually feel the
They
other
feel,
way in hetero
yeah, they feel the same
dating.
way, but about women. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I think there's something there that a lot of us feel like we need to like bend our schedules to make dating work. And, every last opportunity is going to be make it or break it, as this could be our soulmate. And I think a lot of times we forget that the most important person at the end of the day is still ourselves. Yeah. And I think we struggle too. I've struggled with like, does it make me selfish if I want to cancel these plans? Or does it make me selfish? Like, maybe I should give them another opportunity. Maybe they messed up. Maybe like this or this. Like, I was the queen of excuses for so many years that I just kept giving people a second and third and fourth and fifth chance. And then like finally realized like, actually, it's a lot freaking easier to meet someone that's just going to show up as they are,
Yeah. Yeah. If we don't prioritize ourselves, who is? Right?
Right.
That's the question. If you keep changing your schedule around for other people and catering to their needs, who's looking out for you? And if you're not looking out for yourself, others don't treat you like you deserve that kind of prioritization. That's the
Right.
problem. You give off that energy like, oh, everybody else is before me.
Well, that's the exact problem. And that's the irony is that you're actually like trying to be accommodating. You're trying to not, like, to make sure that people give you a shot,
Yeah.
but it devalues you. And I know the word selfish has so much negative connotation. It makes it sound like you're self centered, the world revolves around you. But I think when we start to reframe the word selfish as I'm putting myself first, and I don't even like to I don't like to use the word selfish because I think it's a bad word. And I think you can also put yourself first, but also put other people first too. It doesn't need to be an either or. And I think for so
Yeah.
long, I felt like it needed to be one or the other.
And we learned that in this episode. We talk about the
Yeah.
definition and the differences between being selfish, selfless, putting yourself first, self care, all of that. I've also heard that people who are selfless and who are people pleasers, it's actually a form of manipulation because you're
Interesting.
manipulating other people to see you in a certain way. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm sacrificing myself, I'm a martyr. Some of us become this way because we're manipulating the situation in terms of perception.
It kind of reminds me of like the cool girl and nice guy too. It's
Mm,
that you feel like you're being accommodated, you're going with the
right.
flow, but you have an ulterior motive at the end of the day.
Yes.
Sometimes by just stating your needs, which could be seen as selfish, is
Yeah.
actually the best thing you could do for your partner. And it's incredibly loving if you could start to look at it that way. So I'm really glad we go in the ins and outs of that with, again, Rayanne, someone that's in the thick of it, in the dating
Yep.
scene. And then Christina, who, has a super loving partnership. She has a baby. Like she's learned how to balance her own self, but also be there for her partner and family.
Yeah. And you can only be there for other people in your life when you are there for yourself first. So,
Yes.
not to give too much away, but that's, you kind of know where we're going with this. No surprises.
Yes. But yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, I think this topic is just so relatable for so many people, but I do want to bring up this point that oftentimes we believe the opposite sex has it so much easier. I often hear women say, well, men can go bald and they can have a beer gut and they can still date young hot chicks. And when men will say, well, women have it so easy because they have so many matches to sift through. I get like 2 matches a week. Just so you
Hmm.
know, nobody has it easy, okay? Like nobody has it easy. The whoa, why me? Why am I the victim here? That mentality only puts you in this negative hole, and that negativity really shows through. So the confidence actually comes from being positive and having this
Yeah.
mindset of abundance, of like, I can have a really great experience. Who cares what other people are doing in their experience because they're not you. You can't compare yourself to other people.
I know. This is definitely something that, as I know firsthand for myself, like when I was able to shift out of that mentality into like, I'm just living my life and, I want to meet someone that can be additive to my life and
Yeah.
my whole life doesn't revolve around that. That's like when things click into place because I feel like people pick up on energy. And
So
that's
much of it.
like we've seen this all the time. Like you can be the most attractive person in the room, but you have this like pick me mentality, or I'm gonna just like sacrifice my entire life for this person I barely know. That comes across,
It
that's
does.
it
It,
really does.
and it doesn't, that kind of stuff does not matter in a long term healthy relationship. That kind of pageantry, the winning mentality, it just doesn't feed into a relationship. So that reminds me of the fact that you all have heard us. We are relaunching our Finding Your Person program, and we've gotten even more testimonials in recently. And one of them is
Oh
actually
my God,
related to where we're
yes.
saying here is a one word, breakthrough. It was somewhere between the finding my blind spots and defining my relationship goals that I had a major breakthrough in your program. You used the word pageantry, and that's exactly what I was doing in dating, getting votes, getting likes, winning people over. But finding my partner is not about winning. And like you both said, the right person doesn't need to be convinced. I am freed from the pageantry of dating.
Oh my God, that
So
is
fucking good.
amazing. I love that we've done this program now a couple times, that we're just starting. Like, we got some really great testimonials even after the first one, but they're just
Yeah.
keep coming in. And it's really nice to see. I mean, we've said this before, but like, this is what keeps us going. When we get these messages, we got a message recently. This isn't for finding your person, but more general for someone that joined the sounding board that said, like, they sent us a personal message that was like, I was listening to this other podcast and I had to shut it off after 10 minutes because the advice just wasn't relevant. It wasn't engaging. And then I heard the DTR convo that you had on a recent brunch talk. And I was like, yes, this is what I was looking for. And it helped me like figure out my situation. And we're like, great. Like, this is what keeps us going. The fact that like, this is like our content is helping people real time. People are
Yes.
taking what they need from it. Like, we're obviously speaking to the masses when we do it this way. What's nice about finding your person is we can speak to more the individual. But in the podcast format, we're speaking to the masses. But the fact that people can take what works for them, leave what doesn't, that is such a gift. And we're so happy every day to do that.
So happy. And we're not here to shit on other podcasts. Every podcast has a purpose and a reason for existence. But our mission may be a little different than the other podcasts, right? Like, I think our mission isn't just about doling out interesting, funny dating stories, which is part of it. But that wasn't our mission. Our mission was to help all of us. It's not just you, Julie and I as well, to figure out modern dating in a way where we can date better, more respectfully. Respectfully.
Either.
It's respectfully. And we can also just be more accountable for our own actions. We're in this learning, growing process together, and this mission carries through every episode. So we're not here to be like, top down, like, this is how you should be doing it. We have all this wisdom. We're trying to figure it out with you. And that's why this program is so wonderful, because we both put ourselves through this program. It gives you prompts to help you figure it out. And we recently had a personal friend of mine who's been through the program, and he's doing it again because now he's met someone who he thinks could be that person. And he's going back through a few modules that are relevant to a situation now. So that's the thing. It's like, it's not just a one-time thing. You're in and you're out, you graduate, you're good. You keep revisiting the material, and it does help you work on those muscles.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you and I think this is why we feel so passionate about it. It's because we have been through it ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, when we started this podcast, we had no idea what we were doing in modern dating.
No.
At all. At all. Like, we were the people that got ghosted. We were the people that went on date after date that never worked out, got hung up on our exes, people that wouldn't give us the time of day, was in situationships. We did it all. And I think that was a driver of this podcast for us, because we're like, why is this not working? And, it took all this. And I think that's the beauty of finding your person, is we've kind of dissected the last 7 years of growth that we've experienced into this linear model that can like really help make sense of all the stuff that's going on. And, I feel like I fell victim to this for so long that I was like, I need to lose 10 pounds, or I need to like get this in order, and then I'll be like ready. And it's like, that isn't really what's holding you back.
Yeah.
It's your mindset with it. Like we said earlier, we see super attractive people all the time that are having challenges in dating, and it's not because of that. It's like the quick fixes of the things we think it is, because society tells us that's who's dateable, is not actually the reality. And I think that's what we learn. And this program and what we do on this podcast is, how do we get to the stuff that really moves the needle, that really makes a difference? Because ultimately, that's what makes someone dateable. And I remember in our New York Times write-up that we got, the author had said we're on a mission to prove everyone is dateable. And I believe that. Like, everyone that is listening, I truly believe is dateable, even though we have not met you all. But the fact that you're here, the fact that you're committed to this
Yes.
means that you're dateable. And all we need to do is help everyone make sense of all that's going on for them, get out of their own way, and then that's when the magic happens.
Yeah. I mean, our content really filters in the types of people who would find this content useful. Now, the only thing stopping you right now is not signing up for the program. So by the time you're hearing this, the program has already opened for enrollment. We do have limited spots because there is a one-on-two component in this where you get to book some time with Julie and I. So findingyourperson.com is the website. You have a few more days to sign up. Get on it before we sell out. Again, spots are limited, but this program, I swear to you, we put our hard work and our own experiences. Lots of tears were shed for this program. It's our own sacrifice, and we are so proud of the work that we've done.
Yes. Cool. Well, I feel like that, wraps up all these announcements at Dateable Podcast on Instagram. That's our other plug. Love in the Time of Corona. That's the Facebook group. And, stay dateable because you're in this group. Share it with a friend. Maybe they're not dateable yet. All you got to do is share an episode, and then that could put them on their path to dateability. You like that?
Ooh, yes.